Hello, my name is Pablo Malco from Developing Dreams Foundation. If you have been thinking about starting a not-for-profit organization, or if you presently have a not-for-profit organization, and you're looking for ways to grow your business, please stick around. Necessary documents, must-have documents. So of course, you're going to have to fill out a 1023 EZ form if you're a small not-for-profit organization. If you're larger and you're starting off with capital, you may have to just form the 1023 without the EZ at the end. I'll have a video where I go over that with you line by line. But let's look at some of the other documents that you may need before getting to the 1023. You'll need to write an Articles of Incorporation. Your Articles of Incorporation pretty much just says XYZ organization is named XYZ, started on this date in this state. It's kind of like the first official document of your organization. Next, you will need to write your bylaws. And the bylaws is a very important document because it kind of states how the company will run. Scheduled board calls, what's required of the board, how the organization will operate, what the services of the organization is. It may include a non-discrimination policy and other things of that similar nature. So definitely do your research on other bylaws. You can download a lot of PDFs. I'm going to have a lot of links for you at the end of this program so that you can find some of these things quicker and easier and get a better understanding of some of the topics that we talk about in this program. You'll need to apply for an EIN number. That's an Employment Identification Number, also known as a FEIN number, and it's kind of like the Social Security number for your business. Okay, it will be required when people are giving you donations, and on all your IRS documents it will also be required to have. So you can apply for that. It's usually free. Be very wary of a lot of these websites that charge you to do this, like it looks like the IRS or it looks like an official website of the government, but actually they are just third-party companies who charge you a small fee to get some of these things done. Sometimes you may need that, but a lot of the times you can do it yourself and it takes somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes to get done. Okay, so definitely do that. I would also recommend, while we're here, looking at getting a DUNS number for your organization. Okay, a DUNS number is something that you'll also have to provide when you're writing grants and asking for donations. Next, I may have mentioned this before, but you need a conflict of interest policy. You know, relatives or having somebody on the board that's somebody that you patronize or vice versa, because that can get a little messy. It can kind of look like, you know, money laundering, or maybe like you're using the organization to fund something else. I recommend you stay away from that and you create a solid conflict of interest policy and make sure that the entire board understands that policy. As mentioned before, you will need a non-discriminatory policy as well. You will not discriminate, and if your employees will not discriminate, you will not hire based on race, creed. You will hire on experience, quality, and what you think is best for the company's growth. You can also apply for a tax exemption. The tax exemption will allow you to not pay taxes in certain locations when you make large purchases. Small purchases too, but mainly large purchases. So for example, if you need 12 printers, you can go to Best Buy, show them this exemption letter, and they will put you inside their system as a not-for-profit that's tax exempt. When you go buy these 12 printers, you will not pay tax on those 12 printers. That's huge. Now, you do not need that to get donations from people, but you do need that to save money on paying taxes. And you don't realize how much taxes you pay throughout the year on all the different things that you buy. Usually you don't realize how much money you spend in taxes for a whole year, especially when you make a lot of big purchases. So definitely something worth doing if you think you'll be making a lot of big purchases in the near future. A quick note, if you are a small nonprofit and you're making $40,000, at least that's when I did it. It may even be up a little bit more by now. I think I saw somewhere it was $50,000. If you make $50,000 or less, it's still very necessary for you to file your taxes. There's a thing called the 990 postcard. It takes literally like 5 minutes to fill out. It's very simple, but you must do it. If you do not do it for 3 years, you will automatically lose your not-for-profit status. And then you have to reapply for forgiveness, and if you're lucky, they will reinstate you. I've seen many times, but they don't. So I would say very vital that you do that every year. When you start making a little bit more than $50,000 a year, you will be required to file a 990EZ form. And the 990EZ has other forms that you must include. Schedule A, Schedule O, and Schedule B. There may be others based on your state, but for the state of Florida, those are the three that I can think off the top of my head that go with the 990EZ. Once your organization gets bigger and you're making $1 million a year or more, you will be required to fill out a 990 form. And there are a few more schedules that come with that, so you can, again, look at your state's requirements for what's required for your 990 tax form. But a lot of us don't have to worry about that at an early stage. It takes a little while to develop your organization like that. So the 990 postcard will be the first thing you have to look for, and then the 990EZ. One thing that people take for granted is your fiscal year. Fiscal year is when you start your accounting year to when you end your accounting year. So I work with a lot of cities, so I kind of structured my fiscal year around them, because a lot of our income came in between that period. When they redid their books, we redid our books, and we started all over again. I had many people tell me, oh, why don't you just do it the regular calendar year, whoop-de-whoop. It works for different people for different reasons. I like what we have. We start in September, we end in August 31st. That's our fiscal year. Even though I have to give out 1099s to my independent contractors at the end of the year, I file for my taxes September through August. But the 1099s for my independent contractors go from January to December. That's what the IRS wants to see from their 1099. Their 1099 does not reflect my fiscal year. Their 1099 reflects their January through December. Okay? So that's something you should take note of. It doesn't affect anything, but you should definitely consider a great fiscal year that works for you, or for your business type, or for when you're on and off season, etc. That's something completely up to you, and it's not really that big of a deal, but it's definitely something worth thinking about.